Hi, welcome to the Get Ready with God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor and I'm your host, and I'm not God. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm not even a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone hoping God is real. The Get Ready with God podcast is the daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. I read a quote this week that said, "The differences aren't the problem. It's how we're responding to the differences that's the problem." And it was in the context of like faith and people having different faith and different ways of believing and whatever. But man, does it speak to like everything in the world happening right now. And I was talking to a friend about how, like, not only are the differences not the problem, the differences are essential. It is by divine design that we are all different and that we believe different things, want different things. And we've even talked about here, like, I think that everybody is called to different things. We're passionate about different things and are also, we find dissonance in different things. And I think that that's essential because I think we're not meant to borrow dissonance from each other. We're given our own dissonance, and that takes us on our own journey and builds different convictions. Anyway, the differences are essential. They're not just okay. It's not just okay that we're all different. It is actually essential to humanity and the earth and basically any ecosystem that you are different. That's not new information, right? But I really liked the thought of how we react to the differences is the problem because there's a lot of reacting poorly to differences right now, and a lot of it comes from a place of insecurity. I'm going to talk about this in the context of faith, and I know it applies much broader. It applies politically and morally and everything, but I want to talk about it in the context of faith because this is a faith-based podcast. Here we are. But I was just thinking about how both ways, like sometimes I can be a little bit arrogant in thinking that my way of believing is superior. And especially in my specific religion, like people that are older than me or like are really like kind of old school, in my opinion, or like really set in their ways of believing are naive or limited or like I do fight feelings of like condescension, like feeling like I am more evolved or I am smarter or I am better because of what I believe. And that leads me to kind of count them out, to kind of just assume like, oh, they believe that way. I've also been really hurt by that group of people a lot in my life. And so I think I go in like preemptively defensive, like, oh, they're not going to like me. They're not going to trust me. They're not going to agree with me. And I've just been really grateful lately in my current church situation. I work with people who are a lot different than me in how they believe and how they practice our religion, even. And yet I have found a community of people who really embraces me and how I believe. And because of that, it has humbled me, which I needed to understand the value of how they believe. And there's a lot of good in both. And what is actually the very best is when we can work together to teach each other, to gain empathy for each other, to gain understanding for our differences. But also, as we work together in our organization, we'll flag different things, we'll worry about different things, we'll want to focus on different things. And that combination of all of our experience and our differences in faith, even within the same religion, really comes together to build a stronger foundation and build a better experience for the people that we are serving, I think, than if I just was calling the shots or if one other person was just calling the shots. And it's just really, really shown me the power that can come from actual collaboration of differences and how important that is because of what we can build then rather than what we can build on our own. And anyway, it's just something that I've been thinking about a lot and really experiencing when I think about why my current little church congregation feels so important to me right now. I think that it's one, because I'm serving them at a different level in a position of leadership. And so I think I care about them more and I'm investing in them more than I typically do, which has been another lesson for me. Honestly, I've lived where I live for 6 years, and it's only been in like the last 2 that I have felt really connected to the people here. And it's because they taught me how to serve and I'm serving them back, I think. And I've invested, I've put in the effort and the energy to invest in these people, and it's created a very different experience for me. I also just think they're changing my beliefs in that they're giving me new experience to trust that I can show up as myself and people will be okay with that, will treat me okay. I just have really been experiencing the power that comes from collaborating in our differences, breaking our own ego, and creating not just safety for people to be different, but to really embrace that and to approach any difference with a, man, I have something to learn here. Like, you're different than me. You believe different than me. You do different than me. I probably have something to learn here. And we can go in a little bit arrogant and be like, oh, you have something to learn here. Let me teach you why I'm better, why my beliefs are better, why I'm right. And instead, if we could open ourselves up to the possibility of like, I've got something to learn here, I have something to gain, then we can drop our insecurities and really come together in a more whole way than we could ever do on our own. Pretty basic, pretty cheesy, but it's something that I've been learning lately. And so put it in your pipe, smoke it. Tell me what you learned. Love you. Bye.